Life, my friends, is a lot like stumbling through a dark forest, except, with less birdsong and significantly more existential dread. There's no trail map, the only compass is broken, and the snacks are questionable at best. We wander, we trip, we occasionally mistake a raccoon for a mythical creature. It's a mess. But hey, at least it's our mess. And just like that ill-prepared hiker, we too find ourselves navigating the murky depths of our own existence. We're searching for something. What that something is, well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Meaning, if you find it, please let me know. I'm fresh out of ideas and could use the cash. We all have those moments, those, oh dear God, what have I gotten myself into? Moments, the ones that make you question every decision that led you to this point, the job interview gone wrong. You walk in confident, but then the questions start, and suddenly you're not sure if you even know your own name. The relationship that imploded spectacularly. One minute you're planning a future together, and the next you're wondering how it all fell apart so quickly. The time you accidentally joined a mime class thinking it was yoga. You try to play it cool, but deep down you're praying for the ground to swallow you whole. We've all been there. It's dark, it's confusing, and it's probably best not to discuss the mime incident in polite company. These moments are like a bad dream you can't wake up from. These are the moments that test us. They push us to our limits and make us question our resilience, the moments that make us question our sanity, our life choices, and our ability to differentiate between a downward dog and a particularly convincing statue. It's in these moments that we find out what we're really made of. But here's the thing about those moments. They're also the moments that make us, well, us. They are the crucibles in which our character is forged. They shape us, they mold us, they force us to invest in a really good therapist. And sometimes they even lead us to discover strengths we never knew we had. So, the next time you find yourself in one of those, where's that headlamp when you need it? Moments, remember this, it's just another chapter in your story. A story that is uniquely yours, filled with twists and turns, highs and lows. And who knows, maybe one day you'll look back on these moments and laugh, because in the end it's these very experiences that light the way forward, even when it feels like you're stumbling in the dark. So embrace the chaos, the confusion, and the unexpected. They are the moments that make life interesting, that make you stronger, and that ultimately make you, you. After all, every great story needs a few dark chapters to make the light ones shine even brighter. Self-discovery, it sounds so glamorous, doesn't it? Like something you'd find on a vision board next to a picture of a beach and a stack of money. But in reality, it's less finding yourself and more tripping over yourself repeatedly while trying to find the light switch. It's messy, it's awkward, and it often involves questioning why you thought that haircut was a good idea. But amidst the chaos, there's a certain beauty to it all. The realization that you are a work in progress, constantly evolving, constantly learning, and constantly reminding yourself to never, ever trust a stylist who says, "Trust me, it'll look great." A moment of silence, please fear authenticity and other funhouse mirrors. Let's be real for a second. This whole embracing the darkness thing, it's terrifying, because in the darkness we're forced to confront the things we'd rather keep hidden. Our fears, our insecurities, our questionable taste in reality TV. It's like staring into a funhouse mirror, except the reflection is brutally honest and there's no cotton candy in sight. But here's the kicker. Those distorted reflections, they're still us. And until we acknowledge them, accept them, and maybe even learn to laugh at them, we'll never truly see ourselves clearly. So go ahead, embrace the absurdity. It's what makes you, well, you. Darkness, the ultimate truth serum, no refunds. Here's the thing about darkness, it doesn't judge, it doesn't sugarcoat, it just is. It's a blank canvas, a void, a space where all the filters and facades we wear in the daylight fade away. It's just you, raw and unfiltered, facing yourself. And honestly, it's kind of liberating. In the darkness, we're free to be vulnerable, to be honest, to be completely and unapologetically ourselves. We don't have to pretend to be anything other than what we are in that moment. And that, my friends, is a powerful thing. From darkness to, slightly less darkness, the transformative power of tripping over roots. Now, I'm not saying that darkness is all sunshine and roses. In fact, it can be quite the opposite. The forest, with its dense canopy and shadowy paths, can feel like an endless maze. The roots that snake across the ground seem to have a mind of their own, waiting to catch the unwary traveler. It can be painful, it can be disorienting, and it can make you question why you even ventured into the forest in the first place. The feeling of being lost, both physically and metaphorically, can be overwhelming, and it can definitely lead to some spectacular metaphorical face-planting. Those moments when you trip over a root and find yourself sprawled on the ground, wondering how you got there. But it's in those moments of stumbling and falling that we learn the most about ourselves. When you're sitting on the forest floor, catching your breath, you start to reflect. You think about what led you to this point and what you can do differently next time. We learn how to get back up. Each fall teaches us resilience. It shows us that no matter how many times we trip, we have the strength to stand up again. We learn how to adapt. The forest, with its ever-changing terrain, teaches us to be flexible. We start to anticipate the roots and rocks, adjusting our steps to avoid them. We learn that maybe, just maybe, we're a lot stronger than we thought we were. Each challenge we face in the forest builds our confidence. We realize that we have the inner strength to overcome obstacles. And slowly but surely the darkness starts to recede. It's not that the forest becomes any less dense or the path any less tricky, but our perspective changes. We start to see the beauty in the shadows and the lessons in the challenges, not because it disappears entirely, but because we learn to navigate it. We become more attuned to our surroundings, more aware of the subtle signs that guide us. We learn to find the glimmers of light, the moments of hope that guide us through the darkest parts of the forest. These moments become our beacons, reminding us that even in the darkest times there is always a way forward. We learn to find the glimmers of light, the moments of hope, the occasional patch of ground that isn't trying to actively trip us. These small victories give us the courage to keep moving forward, and as we continue our journey, we realize that the forest, with all its challenges, has transformed us. We are no longer the same person who first stepped onto the path. We are stronger, wiser, and more resilient. The roots that once tripped us have become our teachers, guiding us towards a brighter, more confident future. Embrace the absurd, one headlamp malfunction at a time, so the next time you find yourself lost in the metaphorical woods, headlamp flickering ominously, remember this: you're not alone. We're all out here, stumbling around in the dark, trying to find our way. It's a shared experience, a universal journey that binds us together, and that's okay. Embrace the absurdity. Laugh at the mishaps. These moments of confusion and uncertainty are what make the journey memorable. And never, ever underestimate the power of a good headlamp, and maybe a backup battery or two just in case. A reliable headlamp can be a beacon of hope in the darkest of times, because in the end, it's not about avoiding the darkness. It's about facing it head-on with courage and resilience. It's about learning to navigate it, to find the humor in it, and to appreciate the journey, no matter how challenging it may be. And to emerge on the other side, a little bruised, a little muddled, but ultimately a little more ourselves. Each step we take in the dark, each stumble and fall, shapes us into who we are meant to be. So embrace the absurdity of it all. Embrace the headlamp malfunctions, the moments of doubt, and the unexpected detours. For it is in these moments that we find our true strength, our resilience, and our ability to find light even in the darkest of times. So the next time your headlamp flickers and the path ahead seems uncertain, remember to laugh, to embrace the absurd, and to keep moving forward. Because in the end, it's not just about reaching the destination. It's about the journey, the experiences, and the memories we create along the way. Embrace the absurd, one headlamp malfunction at a time. And you'll find that the journey is just as important, if not more so, than the destination itself.